Yash had always believed that love was the safest place in the world, a warm corner of the heart where hurt never dared to enter. He believed this because he had only loved once, and when he loved with an innocence that could soften even the coldest storms. But life, being unpredictable and sometimes brutally poetic, did not offer him the same sincerity in return. Instead, it offered him betrayal, beautifully wrapped, sweetly spoken, and silently destructive. And the day he discovered the truth, something inside him shifted, like a quiet bridge cracking under unseen weight. Yash was a young entrepreneur, not yet a billionaire, but already walking toward that path with the type of determination that could turn dust into diamonds. But before he became ambitious, he was simply a boy in love with a girl who said all the right words at all the right times. Her name was Meher. For months, he treated her as if the world existed only because she walked in it. He trusted her with the most delicate parts of himself, the dreams he had never spoken, the fears he had never confessed, and the hope he had only dared to whisper. But while he was building futures with her in his mind, she was building lies behind his back, carving stories with another man whose shadow Yash never noticed until the day reality slapped him awake. The betrayal came quietly. No dramatic confrontation, no loud thunder, no stormy night. Just a simple moment. Meher's phone lighting up with a message from a name he didn't know. A message she tried to hide too quickly, as if love was something disposable, something easily replaced, something that didn't matter. And when he asked her gently, she laughed nervously and created excuses that were weaker than her loyalty. But Yash wasn't naive anymore. He had learned to read eyes, and her eyes were saying everything her lips refused to admit. She wasn't in love with him anymore. Or maybe she never truly was. That night, Yash didn't cry. He didn't scream. He didn't ask God why. He simply walked away, silently carrying the weight of a heart that had been shattered so expertly that even the pain felt sharp and artistic. And yet, betrayal didn't turn him cold. It turned him focused. Love had failed him. But ambition never had, so he poured himself into his dreams, into late-night work sessions, into building something greater than heartbreak. Every sleepless night, every memory of her laugh, every moment of weakness became fuel, and slowly, he climbed higher and higher until the world started whispering his name with awe. Years passed, and one day fate, with its strange sense of timing, brought someone new into his world, not with drama, not with flirtation, not with any intention at all. Her name was Aira. She came into his company as a quiet intern, the type of girl who apologized too quickly, smiled too softly, and carried dreams in her eyes like they were fragile stars. Yash noticed her on the third day, not because she was trying to impress him, but because she wasn't trying at all. Something about her presence felt like a gentle contradiction to the chaos inside him. Aira had her own storms she didn't speak about, storms she hid behind a disciplined expression and perfectly organized files. She wasn't someone who chased closeness. She kept a polite distance from everyone, including him. But Yash, who had once built walls around his heart, felt those walls tremble every time she walked past him. She didn't remind him of betrayal. She reminded him of something he never thought he would feel again: softness. Their first real conversation wasn't romantic, it was accidental. Aira dropped her papers, and Yash bent to help her, their hands brushing lightly. She froze for a second, almost like touch meant something deeper to her than she allowed anyone to know. He noticed the way she inhaled softly, the way her lashes trembled, and the way she whispered a quiet thank you as if she wasn't used to being treated gently. It intrigued him in ways he couldn't explain. Over the next weeks, their connection grew in silent ways, through lingering glances, unintentional smiles, and conversations that lasted longer than necessary. Aira didn't flirt, she didn't try to win his attention. But her sincerity, her work ethic, her silent strength, all of it wrapped around his heart slowly, carefully, without forcing its way in. Yash found himself drawn to her honesty like it was water in a desert he didn't know he was walking through. But the universe, as always, loves testing hearts just when they begin to hope again. One afternoon, Aira walked into his office to submit a proposal, and she found him quiet, distant, lost in memories he thought he had buried. She sensed something troubled him, even though he didn't say it. And for the first time, she spoke boldly, telling him gently that he didn't need to hide pain behind perfection. Her words struck something deep, and before he realized what he was doing, he told her everything: the betrayal, the loneliness, the ambition that grew from heartbreak. Aira listened without interruption, without judgment, without pity. She didn't try to fix him. She simply stayed present, which meant more than any comforting words could. That night changed something between them. Yash felt strangely exposed yet safe. Aira had seen parts of him he had hidden from the world, and instead of stepping back, she moved closer, not physically but emotionally, with a sincerity that warmed him. And slowly his heart began to reopen, not because she demanded it, but because she deserved it. One morning, Yash saw Aira talking to a male employee outside the building, laughing softly, her smile warm, her eyes bright, and for a moment a sharp, Possessive H tore through him, an ache he had never felt before, not even with me, her. It was raw, electric, almost territorial. It stunned him. He wasn't the jealous type. He wasn't the possessive type. But something about the way Aira smiled reminded him how easily she could slip away if he didn't hold her close. That evening, when she came to his office, he was quieter, more intense, his gaze lingering too long. She noticed. She always did. When she stepped toward him cautiously and asked if something was wrong, he didn't answer in words. Instead, he took her wrist gently, his touch firm but careful, as if she were something precious he didn't want to break. She looked up at him, startled, breathless, confused. And in that moment he confessed, not with sentences or explanations, but with emotion burning visibly in his eyes. He told her he was afraid of losing her before he had even fully found her. Aira, unused to the intensity of someone wanting her, stepped back instinctively. And for a second, Yash felt fear, real fear, that he had scared her, that he had crossed a line, that he would lose her too. But then she whispered softly, "You don't need to be afraid. I'm not going anywhere." Those simple words hit him harder than betrayal ever could. Relief washed over him, a slow, powerful relief that loosened everything inside him. And in that fragile moment, where fear and longing collided, Yash gently cupped her face. No rush, no force, nothing possessive except the emotion he couldn't hide anymore. Aira froze, breath trembling, but she didn't pull away. She looked into his eyes, and he looked into hers, both worlds meeting in a silence louder than words. Then, as if pulled by gravity, he kissed her. It wasn't the type of kiss that demanded surrender. It was the type that sought permission through touch. But it carried an intensity, a possessiveness born not from control but from deep emotional fear, the fear of losing something rare. Aira responded slowly, hesitantly, like she was allowing herself to be wanted for the first time in years. And in that moment, something magical happened. The ghosts of betrayal faded, replaced by something fierce, something healing, something beautifully unexplainable. After that day, Yash changed, not into a possessive lover who wanted to control her, but into a man who valued her presence so deeply he guarded it with silent devotion. Aira softened around him, opening up piece by piece, letting him into her world. She learned his strengths, his storms, his secrets. And he learned her fears, her dreams, her cracks, her light. Their love didn't grow with dramatic scenes or loud declarations. It grew in quiet moments, late night phone calls, accidental touches, shared coffees, soft laughter, long silences that felt comfortable instead of empty. It grew naturally, beautifully, without pressure. And one evening, when the world outside was glowing with sunset colors, Yash told her something he had never told anyone. "You healed a place inside me I didn't know was wounded." Aira smiled, eyes glistening, and whispered, "You did the same for me." And just like that, betrayal became a memory, pain became a lesson, and love, unexpected, gentle, intense, became the truth of their hearts.